Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Mizumani G. Yes, we're coming towards the end of 2021, and it's time to do another horror movie review. This time we're going to review the horror movie called Mother Android. Yes. Now, Mother Android is a 2021 sci-fi thriller horror film. It was written and directed by Madsen Tomlin. Now, the film stars Chole Grace Mortez, Algie Smith, and Rio Castillo. In the movie, in a post-apocalyptic world rocked by violent android uprising, a young pregnant woman and her boyfriend desperately search for safety. Yes, Skynet gone haywire. Now, we've seen our share of post-apocalyptic films in the horror genre. Now, whether it be caused by zombies or a viral infection, this has been a successful subgenre for horror fans. During this post-apocalyptic world, you put together a ragtag group of survivors while fighting off zombies or infected humans. You have some interesting characters, and that's created some great horror movies. Like The Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, or if you want to go into the horror comedy route, Shaun of the Dead, something like that. We've seen a lot of these pictures in this type of setting, and there mostly has been quite successful. So, screenwriter Madsen Tomlin decides to bring us his latest entry into this subgenre, and in his directorial debut, it is called Mother Android. Now, in this setting, as college couple Georgia and Sam discuss their future together after learning she's pregnant, their android servants, after hearing a weird and piercing sound, starts attacking and killing humans. I guess you could say approximately 9 months later, Georgia and Sam are on the run. They're trying to reach a safe haven in Boston so that she can give birth safely, all the while trying to avoid the now dangerous and deadly androids who are now trying to kill any humans that they see. Now, first off, I have to give Madsen credit for trying to do something different, using androids in this setup instead of zombies or zombie-like infection that we've seen in this type of setup before. Now, before you go there, I understand that this is not nothing new. We've seen this type of setup before in the Terminator films, but this is more like the viral infection films, like say with Viral, I think Outbreak, and of course any of the zombie films such as Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead, or anything involving zombies or a zombie-like virus, even the 28 days and 28 week films. That's what this setting is. Now, in this type of setting, you can go two ways with this premise. Now, you can go the survivor group setup where you put together a ragtag group of survivors like in the Dawn of the Dead, and they fight against the humans, they might fight for each other. You have some interesting characters that you pull for, and that's what type of setup you can do. Or you can only have one or two survivors and we see how they survive. Now, if you're going to go with the latter, then you better make sure that that character or characters is very interesting so that the audience will relate to that person or person and hopes that person or persons can survive or can be rescued. Films like The Night Eats the World, #Alive, and Cure Alone are good examples of how that premise works well. In Night Eats the World, you only have the one guy in that film. He's surrounded by a whole bunch of zombies, but he was such an interesting character that we were hoping that he does survive. The same thing in #Alive. You have the one interesting character, plus you have the haves and the have-nots. He was just this one guy, really wasn't going to himself. Next thing you know, that particular part of South Korea was disastrous, and we see how he tries to survive when we were very invested with those two characters. And same thing if you're alone. Now, while Chole Grace Mortez's performance is good, the story that Madsen wrote is bland at best, and he doesn't do a good enough job to make the audience care enough for either George or Sam. Now, it could be one of the problems is the androids themselves, because we really don't get that enough of backstory about them, and Madsen does create enough tension to make them a threat. There's some minor instances in the beginning of the film about who the androids are, and we hear this piercing noise right around probably in the first 5 minutes of the film. Next thing you know, the androids are attacking them, but that's all we get. We don't get that enough backstory. Not saying that we really need it, but it doesn't make the androids the threat that they are. If you're going to do this type of a film where you're only focusing on certain characters, then you have to make the threat powerful enough that you have enough tension, so that way when the character or characters get into a very dangerous situation, You fear for their lives. That's why films like Hashtag Alive and The Night Eats the World works, and why unfortunately it didn't work in this film. Another problem is the acting, because while Chloe is good, Algie Smith is average as best as Sam. Like I said before, if you're going to go into a story like this, then you better have excellent chemistry with the leads, and we don't have it here. Now, I can't blame that on Alge, because while he tries hard and he does a good job in portraying Sam, it's Tomlin's script doesn't give his character enough growth to make the audience care enough about him. He makes stupid decisions knowing that he has a pregnant woman and he should be looking out for her best interest, and I guess he does, but he really doesn't go about it the right way that makes sense. Another problem with the film is its runtime, which is almost 2 hours long, which includes dragged out scenes, especially when Georgia runs no author. I won't say anything about that, but that's another problem. If you're going to have a film like this and you're going to have almost a 2 hour runtime, then you better have some interesting characters in it. And again, that's the problem. Then Chole Grace Mortez as Chloe really don't have any interesting characters. Like I said, the androids don't appear to be a threat. We really don't get to see them do anything other than to like run. We get some drone action, but other than that, it just drags and drags and drags. We also get another dragged out scene during the third act, and I guess that was supposed to make the audience feel sorry for George and Sam, but even that fails because we simply don't care about them. If people who've seen what happens in the third act, you'll know and understand what I'm talking about, but we really don't care because it's sad what happens, but it's like, wow, okay. So overall, Tomlin's first outing as a director was a poor one. The filming was okay, but like I said, dragged out scenes, lackluster script, very boring characters other than Georgia, and non-threatening androids. I mean, at least the Rev 9 from Terminator Dark Fate looked more threatening than these androids. So I'm going to give Mother Android only 1.5 of my 5 bloody gold coins. Only give it 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. The only good thing about this is Chole Grace Mortez's performance. Like I said before, non-threatening androids, very boring characters, dragged out scenes. It's like maybe Tomlin will understand how to make the script tighter, create some more tension, and not drag out scenes. A film like this should only be about 90 minutes, no more than at least 90 to 95 minutes. So there you have it. That is my review and video for Mother Android. Hope you guys did love it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.